Jazzcast Pros.
Kristy, what's in your cup?
One guess.
Cacao.
Of course.
Yeah, I love it.
Guess what today's episode's about?
Cacao.
Yeah.
We want to talk about it today because we see it as a tool because it's a plant medicine, and therefore it is a shortcut, a spiritual shortcut.
Absolutely.
So, which we've spoken about previously in another episode. So, and we spoke about tools in that episode too, didn't we?
Yeah, and so we'll get a bit deeper on that today and talk about our cacao story and how we got there, and yeah.
We have the cacao for sale. That is the whole point of this episode and our business and all the things. So where can people get a hold of some of this delicious drink?
Well, we have a website where you can buy a 250 gram bag, or
well, you will be able to soon. It's actually being built as we speak. Exciting.
We do $5 samples
for Australia. Yeah, just for Australian punters, Aussie punters.
So at the time of the recording, though, it is in maintenance mode, the website. So if you're keen, just reach out to us.
Yeah, so they can do that via this platform, whatever you're listening to. Our Instagram page is Magic Mud Cacao. That's a great way to reach out to us. We're all over Facebook as well. So whatever is your
email too.
Yeah, 100%. And the email address is twopsychicnobodies@proton.me. Lots of ways to get in touch with us.
So many ways. Carrier pigeon, smoke signals, we take them all, don't we?
Yeah, kookaburra.
Yeah. Yeah. That's it.
All the birds.
Oh, we love it.
Welcome to The Spiritual Shortcut, the podcast to help you realize that you are in fact your own healer and that you can learn to release the invisible anchors that might have been holding you back. I'm Amanda.
And I'm Kristy.
And we'll be your guides on this journey.
For over 2 decades collectively, and honestly, probably quite a few lifetimes, we've used our deep intuitive connection and shamanic practices to help people just like you.
All right, so cacao.
Yeah, we love it so much that we've created a business around it, right?
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Which is actually starting to go strong.
I know, it's amazing.
So incredible and exciting.
Oh, man. Like when we first started Magic Mud Cacao, I never, ever expected it to do what it's already done, let alone anything else. Do you know what I mean? Amazing.
Yeah. And it was a year and a half at least before we actually, from the time we started talking about it and sourced importers to when we actually got to the point where we were talking about Magic Mud.
Yeah. Has it been that long? Has
made up the name. Well, yeah.
Far out. That's gone so quick.
Mm.
So have you got a cacao story?
I do. The first experience I had with cacao was in 2015.
Mm.
And I went to a dance party, sound healing, whole big thing. So there were heaps and heaps of people, and it was a huge big circle, and we had some cacao and we set our intentions. And then there was like a DJ, and at the end we did all lie down, and it was a big sound healing, and there was more than just the DJ, and there was a few people walking around with didgeridoos and all that kind of thing as well. And it was a whole big night, and it was fabulous. And then we all had food to share afterwards. And then after that, my dad actually got really, really sick and died in April of 2016. And one of the women that I met at that dance party was running cacao circles, and she ran some on a full moon and some on a new moon, and I decided to go to those post my dad passing away. And it was a really beautiful, lovely women's circle, supportive environment, and a beautiful thing of self-care for me to do while I was grieving. And I went for probably about 6 months, and then she actually moved away. So, and then I was just like, I just love cacao so, so much. The only facilitation I could find at the time was overseas, and my kids were pretty little and needed my support, and I didn't want to do that at the time because it was a few weeks away. It was too long and it just didn't suit me at the time. So, yeah, it was just a matter of time before I started to, manage to find someone and do the training and bring it into my life. I never expected it to be so strongly as it is now.
Yeah. It's really beautiful to hear that it stepped in as a form of support and medicine for you, though, in that space of grief.
Yeah, it was. It was just perfect timing. She came along at the best time.
Yeah. Yeah, wow. Yeah, mine's very, like, that is, obviously you went to a dance party first and then had that more intimate setting, but I was actually exposed to cacao with 300 other people. I was at a business conference up on the Gold Coast, which is my hometown, and, they gave us these little paper cups that were half filled with what looked like coffee, and, and I just remember even in that sea of people, as I think they did a meditation afterwards, just getting that very mild buzz from it and just being like, what is that? And then, as the journey goes, you and I met properly at facilitator training, but sort of knew of each other because I had connected with your partner through all the shamanic training. But talking about this has opened up a memory for me. That first, maybe it wasn't the first time in Circle on the training, but we definitely did an ecstatic dance experience. And I recall drinking the cacao and then stepping onto the dance floor. And what played out from then was this, on reflection, this full rebirth, this full energetic rebirth that had happened on the dance floor. So, facilitated by, cacao. Amazing, Mama Cacao.
Yeah. Yeah, and I love that it's plant medicine, but it's so gentle that you don't have to microdose it.
Yeah, that's right. Well, they actually refer to it as a master plant teacher. It falls in that category, which I think is really interesting, because when I think of plant medicine, initially I never thought of cacao like that, but it most definitely, I understand that at a deeper level now.
Yeah, I never used to think about it either. And there's so much that you can do through her, like your meditations, but also your dancing and your ecstatic dance and sound healings and anything really.
Well, it works, and as you and I have discussed before, it works with the heart. So it definitely takes something like a sound healing or a meditation that is that beautiful, profound healing space and then 10x's it.
Yeah.
Energetically. Yeah. I've been in circle with women and facilitated circles with women who are just, everyday women that have never been exposed to this plant. And then all of a sudden, half a cup of cacao down and everybody is, the level of engagement is much higher. The level of sharing is much deeper. I've always been amazed when I have sat back to witness what it has the power to do, and like you and I have heard from people buying Magic Mud Cacao from us, a lot of people are now using this as a coffee replacement. So you can imagine that being then integrated, that sacredness being integrated into your life every day.
Yeah.
It was just profound.
Yeah, I saw an ad the other day, and it was, your coffee comes with a serve of anxiety kind of thing. And let's talk about the importers, because we did have someone that we were using, and then we found someone else. And it was interesting because I had been chasing the first people that we were buying it through to get a decent story and to find out what the background of the actual growers was, and hadn't been able to find anything. And then happened across one who is practically local for me. So it's so much easier to actually go and purchase it. And as soon as I asked them for any background information, they just furnished me with pages and pages of it. And when I actually got hold of it, because they sent me out a sample, I couldn't believe the difference in the taste.
Yeah.
And how much better it was.
Well, you and I are highly intuitive, and I can never get the word right for the sense of taste. I want to say augustation, but I'm sure that's not it. Do you know what I mean?
Degustation?
Is that it? I don't know. I can't remember. If somebody's listening and they know, maybe they could email us.
Yeah.
I'll have to get them to check it out.
That would be awesome.
Do you know what I mean? Like we have, we sense through that. And I think all humans do, all animals do, but mine has become quite refined, I've noticed. And if it is, if the process is generally of a higher vibration, that is what you're going to be tasting too.
Yeah, absolutely. And we're ingesting that.
Yeah.
So, I really like to be mindful when I'm cooking that I'm in a good frame of mind.
Yeah.
And, I've spoken for years, especially when my kids were little, and bringing them up and getting them to help me in the kitchen, talking about imbibing our food with love.
Yeah.
So if you're buying something that hasn't, or if you're buying something and ingesting something that has been imbibed with love right from the get-go, from when it's planted as a seed, then it's going to have an impact.
Yeah, definitely.
Gustatory.
Thank you. Amazing.
So I mentioned intention before with use. And that goes for all plant medicines, and that goes for all ceremonies so far as I'm concerned.
Yeah.
I mean, you and I, even when we just have conversations on the daily, we'll get permission to tap in from one another.
Absolutely.
So that's a setting of intention.
Yeah.
The statement of asking for permission is also saying, I'm tapping into my guides, I'm connecting to source, I'm open, that kind of thing as well, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. And it's also just bringing you back to, into your body and being mindful of what is coming out of your mouth, I think, and what we are expressing and hearing. Do you know what I mean? Like I just think that's really important to be listening for a purpose other than just replying or answering, actually taking the information and integrating it and understanding it before you reply.
And that's so important, to actively listen, right? Just, I'm not hanging around here just waiting for you to stop talking so I can jump in and say what the next thing that I want to say is.
Yeah.
So, I guess that permission thing is making that statement as well.
Yeah. And intention, like, as we're talking about Magic Mud, our small business, that was really foundational, the intention. And I know you and I have come from different angles, but, essentially Magic Mud Cacao is, in our eyes, the energetic vibration of the higher heart.
Mm-hmm.
We do so much work with clients, we do so much work with each other, and we do so much work with ourselves and, just on the daily out in the world, energetically in that space of the heart and the high heart. So it made complete sense to, as an extension of that, create Magic Mud Cacao. I think it's important that we talk to the name.
Yeah.
Because I really love it.
Yeah, I know. Me too.
Yeah, and it was funny. Like, I've done a lot of driving lately, so I've had a lot of, head miles going on. and, thinking about what we're doing and what we plan to do, and, taking it that next step and breathing more life into it and expanding it more has made me really realize that, we named this from memories of our childhood. And I remember saying to you, one of my fondest childhood memories of school was standing in what we dubbed the nature trail, which was just this foresty part of our primary school, and with a couple of friends of mine standing in front of an old tree stump. And it was this game that we had created where the tree stump became a mud machine, and we were tipping dirt on one side and water on the other, and like magic, in a child's mind, down the bottom at the base of the tree stump, the mud would come out, and that became, it was all sorts of things. It was food for horses, pretend horses. It was potions in the apocryphy. It was, it was just this very simple but beautiful and profound connection with nature and imagination as a child that then set the scene for all these things to be extended off it. I have such beautiful memories of that particular time of my life.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the same for me when I was maybe a little bit older but still in primary school.
Mm-hmm.
I had a friend and I who used to sneak out or go and hang out after school, and there was a tiny little creek that seemingly nobody knew about because we never, ever, ever saw anyone else there, that we would go down to, and when we jumped across the creek, the other side was, your Narnia style kind of world, tiny little imaginary world where we would just act out little stories and just play.
Yeah.
And the same sort of thing, that whole mud pies.
Yeah.
Who didn't? And I feel sorry for you if you didn't have some experience of doing mud pies when you were a child.
Yeah. Well, we were just, I'm sure you're a little bit older than me, but we were just outside all the time.
Yeah.
And my brother and I grew up opposite 100-acre ex-dairy farmland. So it was like trees, bush, there was a lot of bamboo over there. We were just out in the nature all the time. And I just look back at that and think, how lucky were we, how grateful that we had that environmental setting, and parents that ushered us outside, and, that beautiful space of boredom when you're a child where it's like, oh, I'm bored, what are we going to do? And it just pushes you to the edges of creation, and all of a sudden something incredible is birthed, like I feel so lucky to have had that experience in my life. Yep. And, you grew up in a somewhat similar fashion. And so for both of us coming together and infusing that energy and that imagination and that childlike wonder and that play into a business is like the ultimate for both of us, right?
Right. Right.
And if there's going to be a physical product, it can't be anything but cacao, really.
Right. Yeah, it's the perfect bridge between that kind of love of childlike curiosity in our lives and the very adult training that we've had as counselors, coaches, shamanic practitioners, all of that kind of stuff, like that can be very stuffy. And yet when I look at all my counseling training, the biggest thing that I take away from it was probably having a childlike curiosity when I'm sitting in front of a client and asking them childlike questions, because there's a gentleness behind that.
Yeah, and an authenticity too.
And it pulls judgment away.
Yeah.
So it opens people up to being relaxed and able to speak about the truth of their experiences.
Yeah,
And
beautiful.
cacao is a beautiful support for that and creates that kind of environment too, I believe.
Yeah. And I know, we've both worked really hard to create that in the marketing and in the packaging, like that particular
bugs.
print. Oh, we love the bugs.
I know, right? Like how great to get into a business partnership where we're sitting there going, okay, well, how do we design this? And, wouldn't it be great if we could have dragonflies and caterpillars? And we're both like, yes. And
what else do we put in mud pies?
Right.
Do you remember? Like that
twigs
was just,
and leaves and
and that was such a beautiful brainstorming session with you.
That was
and
fun.
It really does shine light on that energy of like, let's make it the ultimate version of, whatever this can be from that space, like you're saying, of childlike wonder and childlike curiosity. Like, what else can we do with it? And how else can we, design this packaging to reflect that to other people? And we have had nothing but beautiful feedback about the packaging, even the logo, the product itself. That logo, I love it.
I still look at it. It's on my phone. I've got my cards in my phone.
Yeah. I love it.
It's all my screensavers.
Yeah. And do you know what I mean? Like as small business owners, how wonderful to look at what you've created, and it allows you to smile and giggle and laugh and go, oh my God, I just love it so much.
Yep.
Yeah, really beautiful.
Lowe's knows that no matter your paint or stain project, saving is at the top of your to-do list. Save now with buy one, get one half off select paints, stains, and primers from top brands like Valspar, HGTV Home by Sherwin-Williams, and Cabot via Visa gift card rebate. Find more Memorial Day deals now at Lowe's. We help, you save. Selection varies by location. While supplies last, discount taken at time of purchase. See sales associate for details. Offer valid 5/15 through 5/28.
Brace the rudders! Raise the sails! Raise the sails!
Captain, an unidentified ship is approaching. Over.
Roger. Wait, is that an enterprise sales solution?
Reach sales professionals, not professional sailors. With LinkedIn ads, you can target the right people by industry, job title, and more. We'll even give you a $100 credit on your next campaign. Get started today at linkedin.com/results. Terms and conditions apply.
So shall we talk about some of the more mechanical things, like how to actually use cacao?
Yeah. Well, we've got our sample bag, which is a measured dose, basically. It's 42 grams, which we say is the ceremonial dose.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I think because you can go anywhere from 14 grams, like that lower end, up to about 57. 57 is a very big dose, though.
Mm-hmm.
So we've kind of settled at that 42 grams. That seems to be really palatable and a really nice, I think, entrance point too to ceremony.
Yeah. But then, we've had people say that they made it up and shared it between two of them, like it's no problem.
Yeah. Everyone's unique. And like if you liken it to coffee, because it is in some ways similar to coffee. Like everybody's got their own way that they have their morning coffee. It's their morning ritual that they, they have a certain sweetener or they don't, or they have it black or they have it with milk. And it's like cacao is very much the same. Like you figure out what you like. Some people really love that tart, sour kind of kick that it's got, which is similar to coffee. And other people like it much, much, much sweeter. So, yeah, it's just about figuring out what you like.
Some people drink it with water and others with milk. I'm definitely a milk fan.
Yeah. Yeah. I tried it just on water the other day, actually, and it nearly burnt the inside of my mouth.
Oh, no.
It was so hot, and I wasn't quite prepared, because I do it on milk as well, so I wasn't quite prepared for it. But how do you have your cacao?
Sometimes I put chili in it or cayenne pepper, but not always. And certainly if I have it in the evening, I tend not to. But if I'm in circle, I will.
Yeah.
And I have it semi-sweet, so a bit of honey or a bit of maple syrup. but I like it with milk. I like it thick. I like to have a mug of thick, think Charlie in the Chocolate Factory, chocolate river.
Yeah, mousse almost.
Want to scoop that up. Well, the next day it is mousse because I use coconut milk. And if I have any I put in the fridge, it will set.
Yeah.
You're spooning that out. That's
Yum.
Awesome. I love that.
Yum.
Yeah, so good.
That's awesome. Yeah, I do mine on organic oat milk. So half oat milk, half boiled water, honey, sometimes also maple, and a big hit of cinnamon because I love cinnamon. And then
I love cardamom.
You do actually, yeah.
I know you don't.
I like it in small amounts, but yeah, the way you have it is like.
Yeah, I know, right? Like you have cinnamon.
Yeah, yeah. I just blitz it up, and I have to say, even when it comes out of the blitzer and you tip it into your mug and those bubbles, we've got some great photos of those bubbles. I just look at it. I just love it so much. Hey, awesome. Like what a beautiful moment of surrender into silence and sacredness than to sit down with a hot cup of it and just like for me, I just instantly think sitting on my veranda or sitting up on the couch with a blanket over my knee and just being snug and warm and having that space to think about whatever comes up in that process. For me, a very moving and emotional experience. And I have been told the cleaner that your diet is, the more profound the impact. I don't know if that's, if that's in everybody's case, but I have noticed that sometimes just even opening the bag up and inhaling it will bring me to a point of emotion.
Yep.
It's just, let alone ingesting it, just sometimes stirring the pot or smelling it can bring something on for me.
So when I've been in circle, I haven't had it as running a circle, but when I've been in circle with other women, I've seen women who are like, I can't ingest it for one reason or another, and we can speak to that contraindications in the moment. But they've actually just had a piece of cacao or the cacao beans in their hand.
Really?
And been in circle, holding that.
Wow.
And feeding off that energy just naturally by doing that.
That's incredible. I've not seen that.
Yeah. So it's pretty intense. So, you're really looking at the energetics of it, especially in circle, because, there's multiple people and it's that concept, right, where two or more gather in my name kind of thing. It's the energy that you create as a group is greater than the sum of your parts. There's no doubt about it.
Yeah. Like with everything, very much a reflection of the individual. As the host or the practitioner or the facilitator, like it's massive. Holding circles, especially, I've never held a mixed gender circle. I would love to, but holding a women's circle has been one of the most profound, heart-opening things that I've ever done. Then you throw cacao into it, it's like, whoa.
Yeah, that's right. And that was great for me doing like up-leveling with cacao because I had done a lot of circles. I had done a lot of series of red tent circles.
Yeah, right.
Every new moon kind of, that dark moon kind of thing. And that was beautiful.
It's
like what that would have looked like if I'd been using cacao back then, I wonder.
Yeah. It's things that are missing from our day-to-day that I feel so lucky that we live in a time that are starting to make their way back in because it's just like I know that as women, we meet up for coffee or we, have our little friendship groups, but I think planned time for that sort of connection, I don't know that anything else can really replace that. It's just so powerful.
Yep.
Yeah. So just before you mentioned the what was the word?
Contraindicators.
Indicators. I've never said it like that before, but I know exactly what you're talking about.
Well, it's a medicine, right? there are contraindications for taking it.
Yeah. So I just call it a hey, heads up. It's like
Or that.
letting you know. Yeah, because it is like very similar to coffee in the sense that it is a stimulant, right?
Mm-hmm.
You know, like you've just mentioned, some people are highly sensitive to stimulants. Some people can't drink coffee. So that's something that I have spoken about to women in the past.
Well, the main ingredient or the base of it is theobromine, isn't it? So that's a fairly powerful mineral. Is it a mineral?
Yeah. So I've always said to people, if you are sensitive to coffee, it's good to use your intuition with this and maybe start off on a smaller dose or, you know, water or add a bit of extra milk.
It's definitely good to ensure that you are hydrated prior.
Yes. Yeah.
Especially
absolutely.
if you're in circle and you're doing something. And I always, when I was doing circles, was told and would tell then other people to, you know, maybe not have dinner if it was an evening circle. So have some lunch and then pretty much fast for a few hours.
Yeah.
And then we would share a meal after the circle. So
And just also consider, have you got allergies? You know, are you on blood pressure medication? Because it can act as a blood thinner, cacao. So just like I just encourage everybody to err on the side of caution, you know, start with that lower dose. And if you feel like you're coping and your body is coping okay with it, then you can, you know, you can increase it. But yeah, hydration too. That's always really key as well.
Yeah, definitely. And then happily, from a business perspective, it's expanded, hasn't it? So as in we've just put an order in for mugs.
Yes.
So we found a company that does some branding and they make ceramic mugs, which is, I can't wait to see them.
Yeah, well, it's an extension on the ritual. Do you know what I mean? Like in ritual, you have sacred items that you use. And so how beautiful to have your Magic Mud Cacao, your Magic Mud cup. You know, we've got
your magic mug.
Yes, that's what we called it, wasn't it? Magic mug. It's about weaving that sacredness into that time.
Yeah, that's right. And then, of course, we've got the cards, which we're still designing.
They're so close that I feel like I can taste them, to be honest with you. And I'm chomping at the bit because they have, for me personally, become part of my morning ritual. Like it's just so become part of my life now. I can't wait to have a professional deck in my hands with the beautiful rounded edges and the gold foil on the sides and looking all pretty. Like I know you are too. We're super pumped to get them out there. So
yeah. Well, that's everything on my little list.
I think that's it. Hey.
Yep. Thank you so much for tuning in to the latest episode of The Spiritual Shortcut.
We'll be back on the first and third Sunday of each month to unpack, demystify, and occasionally make fun of all things spiritual.
Starting with ourselves.
Of course.
Don't forget, those life blocks you've been tripping over are just poorly disguised stepping stones.
We'll support you to laugh, leap, and maybe even do a little victory dance over them. See you soon.